If you are someone who's looking to start your own UX design journey but don't know where to start, how to build your first case study, this is the video for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Soumya and I'm a freelance web designer. Today I'm going to break down exactly how I learned UX design in 3 months, my complete roadmap step by step, what things I did right, and how you can do it too on your own as well. Having said that, I do not mean that by the 3rd month you will become a pro designer, maybe or maybe not, because everyone's learning speed is totally different, but 3 months is good enough time to understand the basics and complete your first case study at least. With that out of the way, let's get started. So before I even started learning UX design, I spent one full week to understand what UX design actually is. Of course, I knew on the superficial level, but I wanted to go really deep because sometimes on the internet we only see the good part and I wanted to see the troublesome part as well. I checked videos like a day in the life of a UX designer, what does a UX designer do, roles and responsibilities of a UX designer in corporate, different career opportunities for a UX designer. I would read beginner friendly articles available on the internet. I wanted to make sure that I thoroughly know what I'm getting myself into. I checked the field from different perspectives, for example, pay wise, opportunities and growth wise, and then roles and responsibility wise, because we see the fancy design part of it usually, but there's a lot that goes before we actually start designing. This 1 week is really important because you truly need to know if UX design is a good career fit for you or not. For me, everything I watched, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted to do. Once I knew UX was for me, I spent rest of the month learning basics from free resources. I watched YouTube tutorials for understanding basics of UX design, and then I read blog articles from NNN Group, Career Foundry, and UX Planet. I used to read a lot of case studies posted by fellow designers on Behance or anywhere on the internet, and I also got familiar with terms like user research, wireframing, prototyping, IA. The goal for first month was not perfection for me, it was clarity. Once I had the basics and even more realization that I'm truly enjoying what I'm learning right now, I felt confident enough to invest in a course, not very expensive though, something that gives me the right direction. I chose Google UX certification. It's great for beginners, very conceptual and foundational, but here's an honest truth, it's not enough on its own. It's great for clarity, but not enough for depth. So here's the formula that I followed to get the most out of that course. So these are the 3 steps that I followed throughout the course to get the most out of the course. Step 1, understand a new module from the course. Understand the basics, complete the exercises, finish a module. Step 2, exit from the course and go deeper into understanding that module. So now I would research and read in depth about that module from the resources available on the internet. Now I know what the topic is. All I need to do is perform a Google search or YouTube search on that topic and read and read and read. So I used to watch advanced YouTube tutorials. I read real-time case studies from fellow designers. I used to watch advanced Figma tutorials. Step 3, practice, practice, practice. You don't just have to watch or see or read, you have to also practice it a lot. So if you have learned about user journeys, create a lot of user journeys. If you have learned about user persona, create a lot of user persona. Create a lot of information architecture. Create a lot of wireframes, low fidelity, mid fidelity, high fidelity. Do a lot of practice. That's the best way to learn and remember things. So these are the 3 steps that I followed throughout the course, and I felt that it was one of the best approach to combine UX certification study material with more in-depth study material. And before month 2 ends, you also need to start your case study. You do not need to finish it, but you need to start it at least, because we tend to procrastinate a lot on starting the case study, and that's a very big step. So make sure that you do start your case study on the 2nd month. Google also gives you the case study as you complete the modules, so maybe stick to that one and complete one case study end to end. Like, do it in very depth, do it thoroughly, try to include every new concept that you have learned along the way in the course. And I'll also quickly tell you everything I included in my first case study. So I included problem statement, user personas, user research, user journey map, information architecture, user flows, low fidelity wireframes, high fidelity wireframes, prototype, usability testing, and conclusion learnings. And also in some case studies I included sections what further improvisation could be done in this design. My first case study was very detailed because it was mainly for me to understand every step deeply. By the time I entered month 3, my course was almost complete, and here's where most people stop, but you do not have to stop here. Month 3 is all about hands-on practice. So here's what I did in month 3. I started on my second case study. This case study was a little more complex than the first one. It was more in-depth, not in terms of section. Like, you do not need to have each section in each case study. You only put the relevant sections. Nobody would mind if you skipped out maybe few sections because it didn't make sense for the case study. You don't have to put user journey in all your case studies, for example. Then second thing I did was I did not stop learning on the design front. I used to learn new skill every week. For example, I would learn auto layout on Figma. I would learn about components on Figma. I would learn about variables. So like that, I kept upgrading my skills. And the third thing I did was study apps now from a UX perspective. So I would go through apps like Airbnb, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, why the apps are designed the way they are designed, why the button is curved, why the button has shadow, why does it not have shadow, why does it have border, why does it not have border. So that way I could improve on both my UI as well as UX understanding skills. And while you are on your third month, you can also maybe start on your portfolio. No, I'm not saying go full overboard on it. I understand it may be a little too much, but maybe start visualizing on how you want the layout to be. Maybe start with the wireframe. For me, what I did was I started preparing the structure. At least I started wireframing on how I wanted it to look like. I basically had a little visual idea on how I wanted my portfolio to look like. I feel that starting is the difficult part. Once you have the idea, once you have some visual direction, you can easily move forward from there. So just do the difficult part first, do the thinking part first, do a little visualization or maybe a rough sketch on your notebook first, and then see later on how it goes. To be honest, this 3 months learning period was intense, but I'm glad here are the mistakes that I avoided and that really helped. Number 1, buying an expensive course. You just need a direction and then efforts to put from your own end to learn better. If I would have invested in an expensive course, I might have regretted it if I couldn't get the value out of it. But with this course, zero regrets. Number 2, jumping into UI immediately. I made sure that my UX fundamentals were clear first. Number 3, learning 10 design tools at once. I just picked Figma and I focused completely on it. Number 4, skipping boring parts. Research, user flows, information architecture, they all are as crucial as a good UI. And number 5, comparing myself to others, because everyone's learning speed is totally different and it's completely alright. What I learned in 3 months, maybe you can learn in 2 months or maybe 4 months, and that's all right. What matters is consistent efforts, and that you need to put, my friend. Now to summarize, here's the complete roadmap once again. Month 1 is all about basic understanding. Learn what UX is, watch beginner friendly YouTube videos, understand basic terms and try mini exercises if you can. Month 2 is a structured course and your first case study. Go through the course, go deep into external exercises, start on your first case study. Month 3 is practice and level up. Complete your Google UX certification course, complete your case study, start on your second case study, make sure it's different and more mature than the first case study, learn Figma properly, study real apps and start your portfolio draft if you can. Alright, that was my complete 3-month UX learning roadmap. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!